All right, here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whirlwind, the red Protoss player representing Invictus Gaming. It is Maxed. And his opponent down in the bottom right, leading 1-0 in this best of 5. The blue Zerg player representing LGIM, it is Buell.
Now, if there's one thing that's been kind of stereotypical of Maxed, it's the fact that he very often loses the first map in a series, whether it's a best of 3 or a best of 5. I don't think it means all that much. I don't know how it counts, but for instance, in Season 1, lost the first series against POC, still ended up winning the series. Lost the first game against Ghost of User, still ended up winning the series. Even in the round of 16, he dropped the first map against us, but he still came out victorious and won the group even. So, you know, it doesn't mean too much, and after all, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. Anything can still happen.
Sometimes it takes Maxed a little while to warm up. This time we see him returning to the in-base gateway opening, which is a bit more characteristic of Maxed.
Funny as well, if you think about it, going gateway first on Whirlwind. I want to say Tal'Darim Ultra, I have no idea why I want to say Tal'Darim.
I keep doing that too, man. This is the spiritual successor.
I think it's just because I just saw Mutalisk, and whenever I think of Mutalisk, I think of Tal'Darim Ultra, and I think of Munchie and the amazing blinks that Munchie made back in his day. Anyways, normally you would say you go Forge Fast Expand or Nexus first on Whirlwind, and you go Gateway Expand on Eklan Waste, but Maxed is doing the other way around. Doesn't mean that much though, but it's the small things that are kind of funny.
Of course, gateway openings give Maxed access to a girth of new timings. Faster warp gate, faster access to tech in general means that there's just a lot more that Buell has to be mindful of. Buell is getting a pretty fast expansion of his own, and in fact might be getting a second fast expansion of his own.
Yeah, because he's actually not going to scout before he's going to have to make up his mind whether he wants to drop an extractor or wants to take a third hatch. If he goes 3 hatch before gas, we might indeed see Maxed
So if he's
spend.
gone 3 hatch before pool.
Oh? That was a drone? I did not see that, Ben. I could not possibly know that.
There are 3 hatcheries building right now. Well, not 2 building. 1 already complete. There's the spawning pool going down at 18 supplies. So this is a different kind of cheese.
But it's going to be very important when Maxed is going to scout this. Hey, we got 50 XP for the Cypher Core finishing up. Nice! Achievement unlocked. And it's going to be super important when he sees this, because if he scouts it super late, he has no idea whether this was a gas opening or not. Is he going to send out this probe? And also, I'm surprised that he took the third base over here and not over here. It's going to make it a little easier if he wants to go for gateway pressure to get maybe a pylon up over here and then warp in on the low ground and immediately assault the third base. Of course, you could have said it would be the other way around over here, but I still think from this point on it's going to be a little closer to his base and maybe a little easier. But we will see. Maxed is going to have to scout it. If he doesn't scout it, he doesn't know.
Yeah, he still isn't scouting. The Mothership Core, I guess, is going to be the first time Maxed ventures out on the map. And the longer you don't scout 3 hatch before pool, the worse it gets.
Yep.
Because it is punishable, but...
I mean, we're 4 minutes in the game and the worker count is even at the moment. That's normally supposed to happen at the 7-minute count, and from this point on, even though he is mining gas, no, he was mining gas. He's already stopped. Yeah, the economy from the Zerg play is going to be pretty ridiculous if Maxed doesn't do anything about it. In my opinion, Maxed has already put himself in a position where he's going to have to try to deal crippling amounts of damage, if not win the game of 2-base play. Because turning this into a 3-base scenario, well, Buell's going to have the time of his life. And with time of his life, I mean lots of drones.
Now, it's still possible that Maxed can punish this. The gateway timings are always scary, and we do see that probe for Maxed out on the map. Might it set up a hidden pylon somewhere? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's undetected so far as well, and I think it might stay undetected for a little while.
This Overlord is going to have to be the hero.
This Overlord has no idea.
Wow! What?
What?
What? What? What?
He gets it though.
That's some new use of photon overcharge. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. He's not afraid of anything else. I mean, he would hate his life if 5 roaches suddenly show up, but...
Or 30 speedlings.
Yeah, even that.
Or 30 slowlings.
Happy Zerg build. Or Ukraine
Star.
2 additional gates going down, so Maxed is going to go happy gateway time. It's gonna, that's
7 gates total?
Yep, that's 7 gates. Not even a prism. So it's all out gateway aggression. Where's that probe, man? What happened to that little probe?
He died.
That's pretty bad.
He had a bad day. It was a bad experience.
Because I think he's going to have a very hard time getting a probe to the other side of the map and getting pylons up as well. Ooh, because without, like, if you have a robotics facility with this push, then you can completely forget about your probes and your pioneers, and you just use your warp ins from the prism, and you can even warp in on top of creep. I have a hard time believing this is going to work, but Maxed has surprised me in the past, so
He's
we
going to
will
have
see.
a long commute, Kev, and he's going to be clogged up by some Zergling traffic. Oh, a little run by. Does not see more than the sentries, but the sentries alone can be the giveaway, Kevin.
Well,
And this Overlord is going to make it even more obvious.
you have to take a right. When you get to the Nexus, take a right.
Yeah, he's spotted gates.
He ignores the navigation though.
He's seen 6 out of 7, Kev. I think he knows exactly what's up. 6 roaches on the way. Here come the sentries with that probe. Oh, no.
The probe is so important though. Wow, I think Bjorn should have killed the probe. And he thinks the same way. Was it a full wall of already, Ben? No, it's not. That's good.
But Maxed's situation is not getting any better.
This is going to take so much time. There are only 45 drones, so the drone count is not crazy. And also, there's pretty bad creep spread down this ramp from this point on. So if he gets Pine very close to the third base, force fields could still make the difference. He knows where he wants to go. But he's going to have to drop some great force field, because you don't have immortals that you can say like, all right, I'm going to try to let 7-8 roaches squeeze through. If 7-8 roaches come past the force field, they're going to kill a lot of sentries, because there is not that much DPS in this gateway army.
23 speedlings, 10 roaches out on the map already. Speed is being researched for the roaches. Oh, Max said this is not going to be easy. This pylon obviously needs to finish. That probe's going to begin working on a few more.
He's going to need absolutely fantastic force fields. There's no other way around it. Oh my god, if these Zerglings can surround these Stalkers, that would be very bad news.
It's a bad day to be a Stalker.
3
To
out
the
of
darkness
4.
we return.
That's pretty good. 3 out of 4 return. A lot of speedlings getting picked off. I'm not sure what this is. This is a robotics facility, Ben.
That's new. So this is the Soul Train 3.0.
Farting is taking notes at home.
Robo.
Other side
Much
of
closer
map.
to third base. Faster push.
Still 16 roaches, Ben. 16 roaches means he's going to need really good force fields. The time warps are pretty good. The first wave of force fields are good as well. They're defensive, but that's what he needs, because he doesn't have too much DPS.
More good force fielding means Maxed will begin thinning out the roach count.
Can't
of
lose
Buell.
sentries, though.
One will fall, and a pylon was picked off as well, but fortunately for Maxed, he has been very diligent with his pylon construction habits.
18 roaches against 12 stalkers, 6
Hey,
sentries.
why not just make an immortal?
Yeah. It's the Chinese version of the Soul Train. It's a little different.
I dare say it's new and improved.
These immortals are going to be key, because he needs the firepower of those immortals. Otherwise, he's just not going to have enough DPS to actually kill the roaches. I love the way Bjo's setting this up. He's coming from all angles, man.
Gonna need some great force fields. Guardian Shield is being casted. The Immortal's about to pop out, and when he shows up, these roaches are gonna be like, wait, what? And Immortal is here, and I guess he just wants to walk right now.
Well, I'm not sure what to think about it, but it's great. Mothership Core is still alive as well. Army supply, it's getting, well, it's kind of stays the
That
same.
Immortal is definitely voiced by Arnold. Immortal is here.
How much gas? Maxed has a lot of gas. I would love to see some additional sentries. It's only going to be roaches and links of 45
There's the
drones.
sentries that you were asking for, Kev, and Maxed's push is getting stronger while Buell's army is
With this
standing. A second Immortal is in the mix now. Man,
Bjorn's
he
not
got there
happy.
fast.
Bjo is really not
Buell's
happy
like, I did
about
not
this.
know Immortals could warp in.
30 mortars on the way as well. So many force fields. With like 11 sentries. I don't even want to know how many force fields he can cast.
This is actually really smart, man. It makes so much sense. And
I think after this it might be an observer. Or a prism to
or
walk in
maybe
on
a
top
fourth
of this
Immortal.
ramp. 70 against 91, but
All right,
it's
Maxed.
91 supply of roaches and links. I think Maxed can do it. I think he should do it from this point on, as long as he doesn't mess up. There are 3 immortals in the mix. Roaches are going to have a bad time. Maybe force fields can trap them.
Those are great force fields. A lot of roaches are going to get trapped, and Buell might be in some trouble. He is counterattacking into the natural of Maxed, Stalkers, Zealots, and a Sentry being warped in. I think that's enough to clean this up.
Beautiful
Meanwhile,
pickoff on the force field.
back
on
in the
center.
third base, this hatchery is going to fall. Buell is definitely in trouble. He's going to try to turn around and do something about this Robo.
He's so mad about this Robo.
Not a fourth Immortal, says Buell, and it is not going to happen. But in doing so, he has given up his natural, I'm afraid. These roaches are terribly out of position.
72 supply against 77, but the army of Maxed is so much stronger. Still has so many force fields, and there is nothing in Bjorn's army at the moment that is actually good in engaging this army.
Yep, force fields in the back this time might be all that Maxed needs. That's exactly what we're gonna see. The Immortals staying alive, living up to their namesake, pushing up into the natural. Oh my goodness, the Protoss army is starting to thin out, man. Is Bjorn somehow going to stabilize?
Not too many roaches remaining though.
Two Immortals left. Roaches are pushing forward. The sentries are all out of energy. Where's the warp in?
I think he should just fight. I think if he runs, it gets worse. He might have.
Oh, both Immortals have fallen somehow, some way.
Oh my god, all these sentries are kind of out of position as well. Big Stalker warp in is what's going to follow. This is going to get really micro-intensive.
Bjorn might clean this up, but has he taken too much damage? He's down to 27 drones. Somehow the mothership core died. I guess there was a queen in the mix. There she is. We see another Immortal being built. This one's going to be back at home.
Where it should be. He pulled so many drones.
Right.
He lost so many workers.
So Bjorn does somehow stop the bleeding. But man, has it been painful. He's down to 30 harvesters. He's trying to drone back up. 6 drones on the production tab. Maxed burned a lot of resources to do this, Kev. He's nearly mined out in his main base. His natural's also thinning.
Of course, we can say the same about Bjorn. Like, Bjorn's main is not a whole lot healthier.
Also very
I like
true.
what he's doing. He's getting burrow right now. He's like, I picked off your robotics facility. So that means
I bet you'll never have an observer.
It means no more observers. Actually, you saw that was a robo being wiped in. It's kind of smart. I mean, he has to do something, and he has to make it happen with cheap units. And roaches are obviously pretty cheap, so I do like that he's going to try to do it with burrowed roaches. But it's going to be very hard regardless. But it's his only option.
This proxy robo is so funny. It reminds me back in Wings of Liberty, there was a hack or a glitch in the game that lets you warp in Immortals for a little while. Do you remember that?
I've heard about it.
I can remember seeing
I thought you were going to
Immortals.
talk about the Colossus that could walk across the wire.
That was cool too.
On Scrap Station.
But I remember having Immortals warped in against me on Scrap Station one time, and it was the scariest thing in the world. So guys like warps in 4 Immortals at once. I was so confused. I have to feel like that's how Bjorn was feeling.
Max said he's thinking about a third base. Why not at the 17-minute mark?
Not gonna happen.
He also has a Dark Shrine on the way, and there is absolutely no way that Bjorn's expecting this. Bjorn made 5 spine crawlers, but then he's like, I think he's taking a third base, but no, he's not.
Max said doesn't take thirds. This man graduated from the school of Elfie.
Whoa, not all the Immortals are here. He kind of needs the Immortals to deal with all these roaches.
In fact, none of the Immortals. Where are the Immortals? Here they come. They're a little bit behind. That time warp's pretty good. No force field energy is left, but these roaches stuck in that time warp are going to take a lot of damage. Oh, that's bad luck, Brian, the Immortal. He's going to go down very quickly.
Born as an Immortal, still dies.
My mom called me an Immortal. And then
These
I died.
roaches are kind of trapped now as well. Maxed is just cleaning up. I mean, Bjorn did drone up a little bit. He's back to 41 workers, and there's always something that you can potentially.
Where are these DTs
do.
warped in? Okay, they warped in back into third base. So.
Okay. I don't think there's a single Overseer or
Spore Crawler.
No.
In fact, I don't think Bjorn has any idea that there might be Dark Templar out on the map. So this could be very scary. Certainly if they run like into the main base, or maybe into the natural where most of the mining is happening.
Bjorn's going to try to counterattack with a couple of roaches on the north side of the map that went undetected so far.
But now defensive Dark Templar make attacks just impossible.
Also, I love the fact that Maxed is getting a forge. He's like, +1 might be good right now. 19 minutes into the game.
It's about time to start working on those upgrades.
Bjorn.
First DT heading into the main base.
There
are Overseers being warped, or morphed. But this is still, I mean, just a brutal army to deal with, though, and if that Overseer dies, it makes it even harder. Maxed going to come right forward. Immortals pound away at the roaches. The Dark Templar is staying alive because that Overseer is not here. It died or something as Maxed coming forward is going to trap these roaches. Oh, Kev, I think this one might be over.
He is counterattacking with the roaches, trying to make something happen, but this is exactly what you were talking about, Ben. Defensive Dark Templars are so good in dealing with stuff like this. Maxed did lose a couple of probes, but GG!